Have you ever felt like the dumbest person in the room? Welcome to Continue to Improve, where every week we provide you with actionable content to help you continue to improve your business and your leadership. This week's episode is all about how to master the superpower of effective listening. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dan, I've heard all this about active listening before or effective listening. And you're probably right. And so you know the most difficult part of effective listening is being quiet and taking in all the information so that you can process it. Today you're going to discover the secret I learned many years ago about effective listening. Most of you don't know this, but I was in my mid-30s before I went to college, which means I was a high school dropout when I worked at Toyota Motor Manufacturing Kentucky in organizational development. That's right, I was a high school dropout working side by side with people who had bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, even PhDs, developing a leadership curriculum that would be taught to thousands. And because I felt like the dumbest person in the room, not necessarily intellectually, but certainly educationally, it made it easy for me just to sit back and listen to what all these other people had to say. And in that process, it gave my brain time to process this information, which allowed me to come up with some very insightful suggestions and questions. I remember this one time we were working on the problem-solving curriculum. Beth was at the front of the room teaching a section on root cause analysis. I remember asking this one insightful question that changed the course of how we taught root cause analysis, making it much easier for our team members. So for you, when it comes to effective listening, one of the most important things you can do is to tell yourself, I'm the dumbest person in the room. I need to just sit back and absorb everything that I possibly can. Now, that doesn't mean you are the dumbest person in the room. You're playing a role. You're giving yourself permission to gather that information. So if you're ready to master the superpower of effective listening, here are your action steps for this week. In every single meeting that you're in, give yourself that permission to be quiet. Tell yourself, I am the dumbest person in the room. And sit back and listen and take notes. At some point, somebody may say, hey, what do you think? Your response should be very simple. Hey, I'm just kind of taking everything in right now. I think you guys are doing fine. Now, later on, as the meeting gets closer to the end, if they haven't come up with any insightful questions or suggestions, it's your job as a leader, a coach, and a mentor to ask them a very insightful question that will steer them in the right direction, moving the program or the meeting forward. That's it for this week's episode of Continue to Improve. Please share this video. If you like what you see, subscribe and be notified of upcoming episodes. Next week, we'll talk about the second most important superpower every great leader needs to master. Thanks for watching. Until next week, here on Continue to Improve, where every week we provide you with actionable content to help you continue to improve your business and your leadership.